world, John Hancock here, and today I'd like to talk about the new Atari VCS. Now, what you're looking at is you're probably like, well, what's the VCS? Originally, the Atari 2600 was called the Video Computer System, and eventually it was nicknamed the Atari 2600, 2600A, and that has to do with the model number on the back of the original 2600. Now, fast forward. Atari, if you haven't known, is releasing a new device, and it's been renamed. It was first called the Ataribox, and now it is nicknamed the Atari VCS. That's right. Now, Atari is just a mere kind of name of what it used to be, and originally was going to be coming out at $300. They do not know what the price is now, what they're going to release it as, because its internal processor may change. And so this is good news. So I want this to be good news for people. And again, I'm just going off the public information after the Atari VCS, formerly known as the Ataribox, was released at the GDC. Now, it made a debut there, but no games were shown. And again, it's just like a physical mock-up. Again, there isn't a game list. There isn't details about when it's coming out, and as well as it's still taking potential pre-orders starting next month. Now, the price originally was going to be $300, which I laugh at, which it will totally fail if it comes out at that price. However, if it can come out at a cheaper price and offer some decent games, some decent crossover, I think it'll be a great novelty item. Now, I'm a huge Atari fan. Support Atari, growing up. I love Atari. I will probably collect this new Atari console just because it's Atari. And there's some great things I see about what they've done. Now, first and foremost, they showed pictures of an Atari updated joystick, and it looks modern but yet classic, and it also doubles as a paddle. Now, I think that's awesome. Whether or not relevant for any new games, that's different. But awesome. Now, here's the other cool thing. The other cool thing is it looks like it comes bundled with a modern controller, which looks really close to an Xbox One controller. That also is great news, because that will be able, the Ataribox, formerly Ataribox, now known as the Atari VCS, not confusing at all, will be able to play modern games with modern controller. And so we'll see it. There's a lot of things that need to be hammered out, but the update is 2 controllers shown, one modern, one classic, like a classic update to it. That price point looks like it's negotiable, so it could be cheaper. I think it needs to be cheaper. I think announcing something at $300, not going to fly whatsoever. It's going to need to announce some solid games. More importantly, people need to know what the internal schematics are. But I think I could see a lot of people, having a classic looking game console that can also stream your Hulu, your Netflix. I see enough people out there to support it as a novelty item. Is it going to be a PlayStation 4? Is it going to be an Xbox One? No, not whatsoever. But could it sell as much as possibly a Nintendo Classic, NES Classic, couple million units? Possibly. I mean, there's enough people that grew up with this. If it's marketed right, if it comes out with some classic games and it has a decent price point, I think it'll be a great novelty item. And so my perception of it has changed a little bit, just for the fact is I like that they're probably taking some feedback from people. Whether or not it actually comes out and is a great item, we'll see. I mean, there still isn't anything of like gameplay and whatnot. So, with E3, there should be a lot more information about this, and hopefully some gameplay, and hopefully some more info about what else is coming out on it. But the update is a changed name. They're not so fixed on the price. The processor is still being negotiated. It's going to be running Linux. I don't know what I think of that. And so it really comes down, is it going to play games? Is it going to play the games I want? Is this another Ouya where it's just gonna, come out, nobody's gonna support it, and it's gonna go away? That, there's a lot of, this is an uphill battle for this to succeed. But I'm willing to give it a chance because I do like the controller that they showed. I like the modern controller they showed. I think this has potential to possibly be okay. Again, I was on the no fence. I was like 100% on the no fence. And now I'm more like, I don't know. And so I definitely am interested and I want more information. I'd love to have one and be able to see what it can do, but it looks like there's not even a finalized model yet. It's still a mock-up. And so after all the excitement of wanting to see this, I still think it's good that they're waiting. And so hopefully they can hammer out and come up with a device that is going to be more powerful enough to have a lot of, great support from games, and as well have some Atari classics, and so of course I want a new Atari VCS. And so, I grew up with this. This is a great console, and there isn't going to be another VCS like it. I'm not expecting the new Atari VCS to replace this. However, to have a modern take on a timeless classic like that, I would love for it to, play some classics, play some updated games. That might be good enough for me. And so I'm willing to give it a try. I think they're taking a better approach and not being so fixed on, it's going to be $300, it's this. I think if they ask for upfront money through like a Kickstarter or Indiegogo like they originally planned, which went nowhere, I'm going to be less excited. So anyways, this is kind of a long rant and talk about the new Atari VCS. Yes, I think that it has a chance to be a little bit successful. I don't hate it, okay? I love Atari, and so honestly, it's probably geared towards people like me that grew up with Atari. Well, maybe not geared towards me, but I think what this device is marketed towards is probably a Gen X or potentially even older person who likes to stream some media, who maybe grew up on Atari, maybe a casual gamer, wants to play some classic games, and, maybe that's it. But, I need more information to give a final determination whether or not this is going to go anywhere. So I think the first step is we see a mock-up. The second step is need to see the actual console and, find out what's all included with it. Are they going to be games included? It better have a pack-in. It is going to be, a digital-only console, looks that way. And so I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that quite a bit. And so I have tons of physical media. What do you think of it? What are your thoughts on it? I can tell you right now that I went from an absolute no to a maybe. And part of that is just because they're waiting. I am very much more optimistic about a company that waits on a product, that takes feedback, that changes things up, and eventually releases something that's more in line with what the public wants. And so I think that because of the delay, this might actually be a good thing. Part of the reason why they're delayed, from what I hear, is that the modern controller was a delay. And so for them to actually say they're moving forward is a good thing. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Is this something that you're definitely interested in, not interested in, a joke? Are you even, curious on what Atari's wanting to do with it? I think it's pretty gutsy. And, for a company that's just a fraction of what they used to be, and mostly a name, it all comes down to more information I think needs to be given for me to give a determination on whether or not I'm going to support it or not. But cautiously optimistic, I think, is my final view. And so, anyways, please comment below. What are your thoughts on the new Atari VCS and the new news that they've recently unveiled? There's a great forum on Atari Age, and there's a specific post about it. There's a lot of people commenting about it. There's potentially at least one person that's connected to the project who likes to comment about things. Pretty interesting. So if you want to know further news about what's going on or just people talking about it, it's a great place. I typically reside on Atari Age. I kind of post here and there, and I kind of lurk, but I've been part of that forum for a long time, and I really appreciate it. So anyways, thank you so much to viewers, longtime fans, and just people who've taken time out of their day to watch any of my videos. It's most appreciated. And as I continue to do 3 videos a week, I just wanted to talk about it. Simple video today. I'm just knee-deep in Cowlitz Gamers projects and have a pretty cool video coming up about some things that were donated to me. And so I didn't have time to shoot that today. My goal is to do that this week. Thank you so much. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. If you'd like to continue to support me for this channel, I also have a Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get an exclusive video, which I plan on doing very soon. Thank you so much. This is the Immortal John Hancock. You take care.